Howdy everybody, welcome to KatyHill. Out of the key of G. And here's what we'll be learning. So that's the A part. The B part. Okay, so there's a little variation there at the end, but that's the gist of what we'll be playing as the B part. And so to jump right in, we're going to be going so that's going to be D, 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 B, A, B, D, D, B, A, B, A, G, and then E, D, G. Then repeat that same phrase. And just end on the D and hold it a little longer. So that would be D, D, B, A, B, A, G, E, D. Then that's in the second half of our A part. Sounds just like the first. So it's D, D, A, sorry, D, D, B, A, B, A, G, E, D, G. And then to finish it off, we'll go 2 notes on the G, E, D, B, A, G, E, D, E, G. Then for the B section, we start on the 3rd note of the G scale, the B. D, B, D, B, A, G, E, D, and then you just run back up all those notes. Same way you came down, reverse, go back up. E, G, A, B, D. So that sounds like. There you go. And then, it's friendly because we get to do that again. So it's that same sequence. B, D, B, A, G, E, D, second half of the B section sounds just like the first half of the B section. And then you can reach back and use that same ending from the A section to end the B section. Sorry. So it's G, G, E, D, B, A, G, E, D, E, G. That's KatyHill. I'm going to show you how I would play it if I was going to play it at a jam session, just so you can get a feel for how the melody you're learning is is kind of the essence of the tune and is very playable at a jam session. So here's what I would play if I was going to play it. Okay, just out and about. So that's just kind of an off-the-cuff version of that, but I hope you see through that all those elements are there. There's a few more notes thrown in. But essentially, it's KatyHill. And so things to take from that and to really focus on, things that'll be very useful, I think here are, so if you noticed, there's this, an interval. Anytime you hear anybody play KatyHill, and so many other tunes, but I don't know, especially KatyHill, they're going to play two notes together. It's going to be, and I'm sure I did it even in the version with less notes, just because it's a habit, but the D with the G. You hear that? It's, we've talked about different intervals before, and so we can count up to figure out what this interval is. So we're out of the key of G. The lower note is a D, and the higher note is a G. So all we have to count up to know what we're going to name this guy by numbers is D, E, F sharp, G. And so this is a fourth. And this is a great tune to learn to play a fourth in. This is super, super common in bluegrass, especially. The fourths have this aggressive sound to them. You know, it's just kind of more of a little bit more dissonant than, say, a third. Let's say the third here. You know, but the fourth, you know, just little edge to it. And that's really great when you start trying to play more bluesy or bluegrass types of breaks. For instance, super classic kickoff would be something like this. Just and so all that is starting on the third note in the scale, B, 2 notes there, C, and then that D, but you're coupling it with that G, where it sounds like this. You could just play the D, and that would be fine. You could. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're wanting to do some sort of bluegrass tune that's got a lot of blues in it, something like that, it just feels right. And it's also a great way to kick off tunes out of the key of G is that fourth interval. You'll hear a lot of times when this tune's kicked off, or really any of these G tunes, fiddlers will use this D versus a G to give the initial rhythm. And so this is a great place to talk about that too. And I'm sure you've come across it as you've been listening. Some people call it 8 potatoes, some people shuffle. It's basically just 4 or 8, doesn't really matter, beats of a shuffle bow, just to get the rhythm going and get everybody in time, instead of fiddler going, all right guys, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. We have the option of going 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. And usually the band will come in either in the middle of that or at the end. Like that might be me alone for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the band comes in playing just G. So it'd be for just me alone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Band 2, 3, 4. Tune. Drop my shoulder. So that interval there, you can start working that in. So every time that you start the KatyHill phrase, like every time you start that, you can go and start working that G note in next to it. The other thing about this tune is it's great fourth finger practice. To play out a G, you gotta use your fourth finger, because that high B note is so important. And you can go up second position, don't get me wrong, a lot of folks do, but it just makes life a whole lot easier when you can have enough control of your pinky. Because it's just iconic. KatyHill does that, or that slide, Can't You Hear Me Calling? The break in Mule Skinner Blues. It's just a skill that once, as you gain more and more control over the pinky, will open up a lot of melodies and a lot of variations that you wouldn't otherwise be able to access. Alrighty, folks. that's KatyHill, and I hope that was helpful. We'll continue on in the key of G on the next episode. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.